Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles DC Comics Icons number 3, Green Arrow. As you would probably expect it, Green Arrow comes with a ton of different arrows, a ton of, well, 2 interchangeable hands and 1 bow. Figure looks very cool though. Looking forward to getting this guy opened up. However, Spot has to tell you, there is a warning: choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. This figure, as well as the other icon figures, are recommended for ages 15 and up. The side of the box, which is, I don't even think I touched base on the other figures. This shows number 3. We've got Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters, DC Collectibles. And then on the back, the other figures in this set are Wave 1 is Batman, Deadman, Green Arrow, and Mr. Miracle. Designed by Ivan Rice and sculpted by Sam Greenwell. Got the DC Comics icons. The first wave, which hopefully will not be the last wave. They really, I think, are putting a lot of effort into this being the new go-to line for the DC universe. So super excited for that. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, but when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the DC Comics, DC Icons, Green Arrow figure. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, yes, as you can probably see, Green Arrow comes with a lot of accessories. He comes with 2. We're going to kind of dissect these one at a time. He comes with 2 grouped arrows. In other words, you've got 2 points, essentially 2 arrows, but then you've got one end to it, if that makes any sense. And he's got 2 of those. He then also has 2 separate arrows, which is basically the same as the 2 grouped arrows, just their own independent arrows, and you get 2 of those. And all of them can fit into the back of his quiver. Just slide those into the back. And my guess is they probably grouped these in such a way you're not going to display him holding the double arrows. Instead, they're just there to fill out the quiver. And you know, you can get them all in there. They're not going to fall out or anything like that. So that's really cool that they would have included them like that. The other accessory it comes with is, of course, his bow. His bow has a string cord as opposed to it being sculpted plastic. So a small little appreciated touch. I like that they would have done that. And finally, the other accessories he comes with is hands. Hands perfect for holding not only the arrows, but also his bow. We go ahead and just pop the hands off. While we're at it, let's pop both hands off and swap them for the interchangeable hands. We're just going to pop that one in, take the other one and pop that in. I mentioned this probably already in a couple of videos too, but I think when it comes to figures like this, generally I'll just always display them with open hands. I won't ever really display figures with closed fists. Just not my thing. So that's usually how I display them. Then what you can do is take the arrow, or take the bow, I should say, and fit the bow into his hand. It's a little harder because you got to move the hand out, and you got to get the bow right around his thumb, which can sometimes bend. Want to get that just in place. You see probably what I mean here. His thumb really wants to bend on you. Get that in place. Helps sometimes to also pry the hands out of the way. There we go. And you got his bow in the one hand, and on the other hand, you see what I did there? You can take the arrow, and hopefully you can see that. You can take the arrow and fit it in between his fingers. A really nice touch. I noticed they're doing that with a lot of Arrow figures lately, Green Arrow, is that they make it so that you can have the arrow being held in between his fingers. And if you don't drop it like I just did, you can get the bow and arrow ready as if he's drawing it back. Come on, work with me on this one. Just take the arrow, make sure it's in there enough. There we go. And you can have Green Arrow displayed. I probably won't display him like that. I might probably just be a little more dynamic. kind of cross the bow. You can even pretend like, switch the arrow around. You can pretend like he's pulling it from his quiver. There's a couple different options there. Let's go ahead and take the bow out of his hands and have a look at the figure itself. It's a little on the more lankier side, as he's not a big muscular. He's muscular, but he's not muscular like maybe I would say a Batman. Segue ourselves over to the Batman that we've already had a look at. You can see the differences between the two. Green Arrow a lot taller, but the trade-off though is a lot skinnier than Batman. It's a good contrast because like the DC Universe figures would have had the heroes all the same mold. There's about 2 or 3 different molds that they swapped in and out of, but it was generally always the same sort of build. And while I really loved Green Arrow, that's one of my favorite DC Universe figures, I'd say it probably, same thing could be said here, Green Arrow is probably one of my favorites so far of the DC Icon figures that we've had a look at. I just don't like the coloring on Batman's face. I just wish that wasn't as rosy-ish kind of peach color. Speaking of faces though, let's have a look at Green Arrow's face. He's got the hood down, however, it is a rubbery plastic, and while you can't remove it, you can take the collar and you can bend it back, and you can see he's got a fully sculpted hair. So that's nice. I like that they would have done that. There's really no place that you can have the hood back. I mean, there's no real place that it would tab into place. So most of the time I'll probably just have it displayed with the hood completely down, as you see right here. The sash, or the strap that holds the quiver in place, is a separate piece too. It attaches itself to the belt. The coloring is nice, the green, the dark green. An updated take, while still being very faithful to the original design of Green Arrow. Just an exceptional looking figure. When it comes to his articulation, of course, as you would expect, his head is slightly hindered. You can still move the head, but you can only move it so much before his face gets blocked by the hood that's over top of it. The shoulders hinge out, no issues there. A swivel point at the bicep area, a double bend elbow, a swivel and hinge in the hand. He's got the ball joint. Now this is really hindered because he's got the strap going across it. He's got the crunch still, so you can see the strap does not interfere with the crunch, but it does interfere with this ball joint, which so far I really haven't seen this ball joint serve a good purpose. It doesn't really move all that much on the figures. The legs move forward and back. The bottom section of his, whatever coat you would call it, is a rubbery plastic, so it doesn't slightly hinders, but not too much, the movement in his legs. He's got a double hinge knee. He's got a cut right at the mid-calf, allowing the boot to rotate, and finally he's got a hinge in the foot. The Batman fan in me would say that the Batman is the favorite figure of this line, but still a soft spot here for Green Arrow. Turned out really an exceptional figure. I hate to almost even say this for Batman, but Green Arrow might be my favorite from this line. Whether Mr. Miracle will trump that, I really don't know. I don't think so, because even in package, I thought that Mr. Miracle looked a little on the more disappointing side. But time will tell as we have a look at him in the next video review. In the meantime, today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles, the DC Icons figure number 3, Green Arrow. Spot would also like to give a shout out to Dave. Hey Dave, for checking out my videos. Thanks a lot. Certainly also, make sure you support your local comic book stores. I know from time to time I say that because it allows you to go into the stores and pick up cool swag like this. It's not really swag, but you get what I'm saying. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.